Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the stream. Whoever is watching from the beginning, you fucking legend. You fucking legend. Absolute madness. So I'm close to finishing the game. Let me get that true ending. True.
Aye, it is bright in here.
Looks like the ancient machinery is still working. Not that we have any idea how it works.
Ruins from ancient times, patrolled for eons by unstoppable machines.
Yeah, and I bet they're full of rare materials.
This place is hardly befitting one of my grand stature.
You sure do like to complain, Vice. Doesn't seem to... It's pretty rough in here.
Yes, hardly suitable work for children.
They both look so skinny, too.
And certain the elder has been giving his share of their food to his brother.
Fucking mate.
Let's see.
That should do it.
Yeah, that should do it. I need to go back. Get this shit back.
You ever wish you could just warp back to the client after you get their stuff?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's apparently a kind of magic that can zap you to faraway places in an instant.
Ah, that one. Well, I would stay away from such devilry were I you, lad.
How come?
Because all of the sages who attempted said spell were reduced to mincemeat when they struck obstacles in their path.
Wow. All right then. Walking it is.
An excellent choice.
I hate me. Oh, help! We got your material.
Oh, thank you, sir. Normally I check. Here you go. And thanks again.
I wanna. Is ever?
I'm. We just. Oh,
Yeah.
please.
Ah,
Mom, you're gonna. Mom, need some work done on your weapon?
Oh, fuck.
Come back.
Hell no. Kurwa Macia, dobra.
All right. He said their mom would be somewhere deep inside the mountain, right?
If I may ask, what is it that possesses you to meddle in the affairs of these children?
Yona and I both know what it feels like to miss your mother.
What? Are you gonna stream Hogwarts game? I heard bad things about that game. Thanks to face, but maybe it's sensitive. If it comes to Hogwarts, I don't wanna spend money now. Like actually. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, fuck off, I'm not playing this. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh, standard edition. Still bullshit. I know you were having fun on CVT. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm gonna make like when I'm gonna stream Tekken, I'm gonna talk about all of it. The game looks fun, I'm not gonna lie. But this price is like is insane, you know, like wait. Let me turn on speed chat because like otherwise. The game is too expensive now, I fuck. Besides, I already told Paco I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid, so I'm gonna wait for Metal I'm gonna finish NIER, and when I finish NIER, I will go play Metal Gear Solid Vengeance or whatever. I don't know how it's called, but I'm gonna play it. Next game is Metal Gear Solid after I finish NIER. And to be honest, I'm not that far away from finishing this game. I'm like
Dre Gaming Network said, Jin, you need one name and you gotta stick to it. Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said, Sup Dre. Dre Gaming Network said, I called you zombie and no reaction.
don't get me started on PvP. I wanna talk about Tekken World Tour, but
Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said, did you finish Final Fantasy? Dre Gaming Network said, World Slayer, Gigas, Geese.
which Final Fantasy? I finished Final Fantasy 7 Final Fantasy 8. Final
Dre
Fantasy,
Gaming Network
Final Fantasy
said
10
too many names.
and Final Fantasy 15.
Just Incredible Gaming said good cat there.
This one is not Simon by Harada. Okay, so I'm gonna skip all of this shit because I don't wanna. I just wanna.
Dre Gaming Network said song you seen Kiri. That was dope.
Yeah, Kiri. I don't know what to say. Like, she's very small. Like, Kiri is very small. Like, super small. He's very, very like short. But you know, like with these people, I only have like maybe 20, 30 seconds. Like, hey, how are you? You know, like I watch your stream. Can I take a photo with you? And like Kiri is one of the persons. She asked me, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Wow."
Dre Gaming Network said if you would have took a pic with Book, I would have been so jealous.
Was Book there? A Book was there. I didn't see him. Taking picture with Book would be like, man, what the fuck is this? I think I went to the wrong location.
Dre Gaming Network said Book had to get DQ because he couldn't make it. Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said Lil Major best king player, was there right or no? Dre Gaming Network said he qualified though. Dre Gaming Network said, Jin, why are you avoiding my question? Exclamation question mark.
Guys, but I get the most good thing is
Just
like,
Incredible Gaming said, I was surprised me, Anakin and Arslan got knocked out fairly quickly. Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said, I'm sticking to Jin, I'm not changing it. Dre Gaming Network said, okay Jin it is. Dre Gaming Network said, a Justin WTF was that accent. Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said, lol. Just Incredible Gaming said, what accent? Dre Gaming Network said, why the bot give Justin that accent rolling on the floor laughing?
The bot?
Just Incredible Gaming said, Robo Man. Jin Kazama 8 Tarkas said, "Did you heard my Dre open mouth smile rolling on the floor laughing?"
The bot, the
Just
voice,
Incredible Gaming said, "The bot sounds drunk."
the bot is like trying to change the voice depending on the person. So it looks like they are
Dre
people
Gaming Network said, "LLA." Just Incredible Gaming said, "I will name Jin soon."
You can't possibly believe their mother managed to fight her way down here. Or, for that matter, that she has been collecting scrap metal for a solid week. Open your eyes, lad. The woman is clearly...
She's alive. Miracles don't happen if you don't believe in them, okay?
Miracle.
I could still hear
yeah, like I'm gonna really talk extensive, like I don't want. About what? Because like a lot of things, there are some things that you guys don't see because they show the gameplay, but when you are there, when you are in the theater, there is the screen with the gameplay, and on the side of the screen, you can see the faces when they are playing, so you can see their reactions, and it's like, damn, that is so cool to see, because you can see like when I was always watching their eyes, you know, like how they are operating. And yeah, this.
It's malfunctioning.
This is only what, like, this is, I don't know how to explain, but the Tekken World Tour was fucking amazing. I don't know how to even No, I don't know how to say it. It was really, really like top notch.
Yeah, this might be a problem.
It would seem magic has no effect against the head. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't let yourself be crushed.
Oh, you think?
No mere machine can defy us.
Stay focused, Vice.
Oh, what happened? What a troublesome piece of machinery.
Oh, come on. Now what?
Clear them all out. That's the only way.
This thing's got all kinds of moves.
Now all that remains is that oversized head.
These chambers are loaded with bombs. It's working!
Unbelievable. Such an obvious weak point. It would seem magic has no effect against the head. Try feeding it one of those bombs.
Where have I heard that plan before? A stupid machine?
Good. Keep after it.
Oh, fuck off. Okay. I know they are dead.
So, this... Why?
It would.
Oh,
So what?
I don't... What?
Come on.
Did you look everywhere?
Gideon,
Really?
how much longer do... Did she die alone?
Well...
It's okay, just tell me,
We found two, but
okay?
come again.
Mom was always so frustrated. I think... Are you... I mean, she's my mom, you know? The only one I'll ever have.
We found...
This is Mom. It smells, damn it. If Gideon sees me like...
I hope...
Hey, safe travels, okay?
Your action.
I'm worried about Yona. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Do you not fear these shades?
Of course! I'd be stupid not to. But I have to save Yona, no matter what.
I see. Then I won't try to stop you.
You're a pretty good listener for such an old-timer, Vice.
I should be offended.
I should be offended.
Smoky T Bear said, "You can cheese Jinno Justin. Long. Hey guys.
Yo, Smokey, how are you doing? Everything okay? Bring me melon.
Yona! Oh, I'll go.
Wait, just
Stop.
The black scrawl.
Let's...
Smoky T Bear said, "One day at a time, Gitto." Smoky T Bear said, "I am fine for now."
Good to hear that. Good that you're keeping things together.
Hey,
paint.
it's...
That, well, it's a
That's not...
you can shape.
have to go pick up fish. Go back.
Dipshits! Go away!
That villager is under attack.
Die, you foul beasts! Let's go!
Things here.
What should we...
Perhaps we could try.
Works for me.
But hey, thanks for your...
Hey! You gotta move your hair. Fish it. You can catch.
Let's head over to that beach the fisherman mentioned. Let's head over to...
You can catch shaman fish at the big beach over on the west side of...
The seal.
If you're... Come back if you're...
We're all set.
Oh, people.
What's my
Group.
you?
Why
You?
are you?
How are...
I need.
Like,
Okay.
Oh,
that's so.
Hey,
oh, that. Oh, you know, since
What?
you're from Opal,
yeah.
huh? Well, anyway.
And that stupid lady with her stupid ass quest.
I don't.
They come... Well...
What an abs-
What the?
We're
The po...
That
both.
software.
We need to get the We're...
If you, that's usually,
Good,
if you need, that's usually,
good advice.
Ah, goddammit. Not here.
Hang it, it's not. That's what I. Hey,
better.
that's.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
No,
Vice has been worried about.
really? Oh, thanks, Vicey.
it appears impudence is the fruit.
Anyway, hey, what's.
It's from the mayor's,
I would sooner.
but there's,
Sure.
I'm worried about the area.
Shades!
The hell are you doing here?
We thought you could use a hand.
Yes, and I do believe a heartfelt thank you is in order.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Archie New ROW said, "Hey Song, was nice to meet you, bro."
Yeah.
What could have caused these shades
pleasure
to
all
appear
mine.
in such force?
I don't know, but they're all over the village, too.
Then we need to go help. We might be able to find a sealed verse while we're at it.
Actually, how was how you rate the yeah, how you rate the whole world tour?
Archie Mu ROW said, was good vibes.
Yeah, but like on the scale 0 to 10, what rating you would give?
This is hardly the time to be right.
Cannot say.
Keep your guard raised.
As if there were
Archie
any
Mu
other choice.
ROW said, 7, because I wanted a better trailer XD.
Better trailer. But better trailer of Tekken 8 or better trailer of...
Rot in hell, you fucking asshole!
I would say I was disappointed when he said, "Oh, we got for you 35 minutes of Tekken," and you know, like in my mind was like, "Oh, we're gonna have all this kind of footage, you know, like this," and it was like 70% was fucking Harada talking to that other guy, you know, like maybe 20% or even less or even more. Like 20% was like actual footage from the game, and I was like, that was disappointing because they were like, it's kind of like mixed feelings because like from one side they explained it good so you can understand, but from other side it was like there was not enough footage to fit to like to make you feel fulfilled. And they could make like and they should give after the finals. After the finals, I think they should make one more trailer after the finals. So it's like you know,
Archie Mu ROW said, Nina looks sick.
yeah, but after the finals they should make one more trailer of Tekken 8, you know, like something, you know, like it didn't have to be like long, but like I don't know, 30 seconds of like a June or like Kazuya or something, you know, like we needed something at the end, you know, like
Archie Mu ROW said, agree.
One more trailer and then I would be then I would not say nothing. One trailer after the finals when the Atif imagine if Atif won and Harada comes like, yeah, Atif, you win, so enjoy this trailer or like some kind of this kind of that would be amazing. That would be good.
Did you just say what I think you said?
Tear out your goddamn eyes and piss in the sockets!
Oh, sweet Lord. I have never heard such a thing. Kaine struggles. You must hurry.
You brought me safe here. We don't want you. Just leave us in peace.
Not the friendliest town in the world, is it?
You disgust me. You disgust us all. Don't you dare call yourself human. Get out! Get out of our village!
What is wrong with you people? She's trying to help you.
Don't defend me.
Kaine, sorry to keep you. Why are these people saying such horrible things about you?
Whatever. It's all true anyway.
What is that thing it's holding? It appears to be spewing them from within.
Well, whatever it is, we need to take it out first.
For me, it was like 8. The tournament, if I have to rise, the whole event was like 8. 8, 9.
Damn it! Quit running already!
Kaine, I'll drive him to you. Get up there and wait for him.
Alright, watch yourself.
Don't let it get away.
I won't. Soon Kaine and I will have it surrounded.
We should join her.
Right.
Oh my.
It can escape us no longer.
It's great to have you on our side, Kaine.
Oh my god, shut up. Look, just try and keep up, okay?
I'm doing my best.
My grandmother would never say that. She'd never tell me to give up on life. Never! I've spent my entire life searching for a way to avenge her death. She gave me the strength to deal with this goddamn mutant body. Do you know how long I've been like this? How much I loathe myself?
I'm on it.
cutscenes will happen. So I'm not gonna. Oh, that's how they kill him. I don't remember even.
Kaine!
I think she intends to perish where she lies. And in truth, perhaps death is the greatest comfort we can offer her.
That's not your decision. You don't get to decide who lives and who dies. She's alive. She has meaning and worth, and we're going to save her. Everyone has something to live for. Even Kaine.
Oh my god.
Even Yona.
Perhaps you should save your pretty words for her instead of wasting them on me.
Grandma, can I rest now? I'm so tired.
Is this new?
Kaine! Over here! Don't give up! You're stronger than that! Don't you dare give up now!
This woman is more trouble than she's worth.
That's it! Come on!
What the fuck? That. Oh. What the hell?
Fuck. Again. There's that dream again.
Yes, I am in the
Every
new.
time I wake up from it filled with pain and sadness. With this feeling like I've somehow forgotten something extremely important. When I look at my broken sword, it reminds me of my battle with the Shadow Lord. Somehow it's been 3 whole years since I saved Yona. That was supposed to be it. Goal achieved. Game over. So then, why was I crying? Three years have passed, and I still haven't found the answer to that question. Not exactly the restful sleep I was hoping for, damn it. Guess I'll go kill some shit. A meal.
Oh. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. This is what I wanted.
Come here, you annoying little bastards. I'll crush every last one of you. Feels like there's a lot of shades around lately. Maybe I should check in on Yomi's village.
Die, damn you! Die! Hey, get back! It's dangerous here!
I think that's my line, buddy.
Thanks for...
Shades have been on the rise around here,
Oh, believe me. I see. Somebody's gotta go over there and...
and that someone is you. You will make it 10 feet before some shade mauls your...
What? Really? Oh, wait. I'll wait for you around here.
Hey, anybody home?
Level 38 straight away.
What are those things doing here? Wait, did they kill the villagers? Come on, more? They just keep on coming. Why would robots be coming out of a place like that?
Robots.
boy. Well, now they got me excited.
The hell's going on here? What's a place like this doing inside a tree?
Welcome to the Sea of Humanity.
Fuck off.
To the cemetery of sin and punishment.
The hell?
You are a replicant.
A manufactured existence.
Individual name, Kanye.
Who are you? Show yourselves!
Remain calm.
Do not be hasty.
Soon we shall meet.
Creepy little freaks.
This is an integrated information management database designed to resemble a perennial plant.
It transmits phenomena recorded in its memory unit.
I don't understand a damn thing you're saying.
Observations of you have been recorded as well.
You brought an end to Project Gestalt.
You killed the original Gestalt. Now the remaining Gestalts run wild because they have nowhere left to go.
Your actions have caused the deaths of countless replicants.
Show your damn faces already!
Do not be hasty. Soon we shall meet.
Soon we shall meet.
Holy shit.
How nice of you to join us.
Yes, how nice of you to join us.
We are invincible. How full of life you are.
We don't get anywhere like this.
Now then, let's fight. My name is Master.
What the hell are you saying?
We are the administrators.
The administrators of this forest.
What the crap is up with these freaks?
Watching.
We have long been listening.
The stories of restored vessels.
The voice of a recycled world.
Will you show us?
Will you show us your potential?
how truly fascinating you are.
You are just as we expected. Come this way.
You are strong. We have taken the liberty of sampling that strength.
We have reproduced you at the point in your journey in which you are strongest.
Son of a... Are those things me?
There are copies of you shaped by machinery.
A collection of microscopic and base propulsion units bound together with muscle particles.
The same as this very forest.
A massive forest of memories coalesced by the triumphs of quantum mechanics and muscle research.
A forest that records anything and everything about the world.
If you wanted me to follow any of this, you're gonna be real fucking disappointed.
My comprehension is unnecessary.
After all you care for is killing me. Is this not so?
These other me's are brittle as hell. I ought to be insulted.
It matters not how many copies you destroy.
They will simply disperse and immediately reconstruct themselves.
There is still much fun to be had.
Come to an end.
God damn, you're annoying. I'm gonna tear these freaks apart, eat the pieces, and shit them into a trash can. Fucking hell.
Have you reached the end?
Damn it.
How unfortunate.
You little fuckers.
Kaine! Are you okay?
Neil?
You betcha! Anywho. It's good to see you safe.
Yeah.
I sense tremendous power in that magic circle. I think it's acting as an energy source. If we can destroy it, all the other kinaes should disappear too.
Got it.
I'll take care of the magic circle. You focus on kicking some kaine butt. I mean, the other kaine's butts. Not your kaine butt. You, the real kaine.
Yeah, I get it, Emil. Just focus.
Number 7. A magical weapon forged by humans.
A being who absorbed the power of number 6 and transcended humanity.
Who is that? What are those voices?
Just a couple of little fucks.
Gosh, it feels like it's been forever since we fought together.
This seems familiar. I think there was someone else who used to fight with us. My memories.
phenomenal fluctuation observed.
Similarity signature detected in replicant kinase.
Fascinating.
Terribly fascinating.
Kaine! I did it!
Oh, I'm here.
Is that a doorway?
Beyond here lies that which was lost.
The final hope for you to reclaim.
Whoa! What is this place? At least there don't seem to be any bad guys around.
Emil, I didn't get a chance to ask yet with all the fighting and shit, but what happened to you back then? And where have you been? And why the hell do you have 4 arms?
Kaine, Look, it's gonna take way too long to get into all that now.
Fine. I was worried, you know?
Aw, Kaine. But look at us now. Team Camille, back together again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Holy shit, does. Oh, good.
Kaine, I feel like I've forgotten something really important.
Tell me about it.
You too?
Yeah, I can't really describe it, but it's like my mind is filled with this weird fog.
I think I made a promise to somebody? Like that we would go eat something delicious?
Well then, we'll just have to get those memories back.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
Man, that no, that is like no. Hell yeah. I don't know if it's city from Nier Automata or this is the city from the beginning when the beginning of the game. Like there are two options, but
I feel an enormous magical power ahead.
Just don't do anything rash. Got it?
Got it. Same goes for you, Kaine. I don't want to be alone anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's from the beginning of the game.
Is this the Shadow Lord's castle?
Kaine, I'm sensing some powerful magic up ahead.
This is a very special place.
To you and to the world.
That is the core fire of this forest, within which a great variety of information is stored.
Inside it exists all that this world is, including the memories you have lost.
Though rather than memories, it might be best to say
I don't get to decide who lives and who dies.
That voice. It's the one from my dreams. I've heard that voice before.
these are your memories.
The record you repeatedly wrote.
You made it this far because you were with us, Kanye. Damn it. What is this?
Do you suffer?
Are you pained?
Shut the fuck up! Let it fucking shit first! Just die already!
Amazing. Oh no, no, not no, like no. What is this?
Where am I? Emil?
These are your memories.
These are your records.
This is your world.
Hell is this?
Sweet memories from deep within.
Hidden memories that were sealed away.
Shades?
Shades. Human souls that have gone gestalt.
These shades are the data reproduced via your records. They are the true humans who slaughtered on your journey.
You are a foreign entity in this world.
An error created by a discrepancy between memory and record.
I have not understood a single fucking thing you shitty little ass grabbers have said since we started this goddamn adventure! Enough with this bullshit already.
You have heard many voices.
Fear, hate, rage, suffering.
This is the deepest place in your memories.
Memories you had sealed away.
And this one is your worst memory.
Oh, fucking hell.
Shut your goddamn traps for one goddamn second and let me kill it already!
Heavens are futile. They cannot be stopped.
There is no escape.
Someone else was there when I first fought this bastard. Look, why can't I remember? Twisted shit right here, and you're gonna pay! I won't lose to you! I think it's charging up its magic. Get the fuck down here, you worthless, piss-guzzling shit rag! Okay, that hurt.
Oh, we have
Get out, half-breed! You disgust me. You disgust us all.
the fuck I'm supposed to
I don't want you. Just leave us in peace.
Enough already! Please, just shut up! Fuck. This is bad.
What the hell? Don't tell me it's go. When Kaine eyes flutter up and she sees a dozen women staring after her. Oh, the hell no. No more text. Continues.
I say, can you hear me? Now then, you wish to get him back, hmm? For the love of all the heavens, I always did know you were a handful. Are you truly so daft that you have already forgotten one of your beloved traveling companions and friends? Do hurry back, hussy.
Hussy. Oh my god. Hussy. Loves you.
What is the matter? Do you still not remember? You have not time to become lost in your thoughts.
Right. Okay. Let's get him back!
Wow.
Use my magic to topple the beast. I presume
Why
you know
cannot
how to
jump?
use magic, yes? Then give us a show, hussy!
I don't need your help to take out this goddamn fuckwaffle!
Use my power to knock the creature down with magic. Well done! Now clobber the beast!
Let's fuck it up good! Shit, this thing's tough.
Let the next onslaught be our last.
Hey, Vice.
Yes.
Thanks.
Have you been in your cups again?
Fuck your face.
That's more like it.
Man.
A sound of mind, hussy. What you're attempting is extremely...
Cram it, book. I'm doing this.
I see. us your resolution waver before mere illusions again, hussy.
Don't worry. I'll do what needs to be done.
Relent in your assault.
Time to close this out!
Let us finish this.
Shut up! I already made up my mind. Nobody tells me what to do. I swore I would be a sword. I swore that I would be your sword. Do you hear me? So I am going to get you back, and I don't care what it takes. Who the fuck do you think you are to just up and disappear like that, huh? I'm the one who gets to decide what my life means to me. It's my life, and I'll do whatever I want with it. So quit wasting time like a brainless fuckwit and get your ass back here now!
I don't expect like happy ending. Ooh, I could say no. What? What the fuck? Wait, I need to like understand what is happening because like oh my god. Ah, shit. And this could be like faster a little bit. What the fuck? Where's
I
my...
leave the rest to you.
I have something. The fuck?
Our journey may have been meaningless.
Our past may have been a mistake.
But we're not going back.
Even if this world comes to an end.
Because this is the world with the people we cherish.
The fuck is this now? Yo. Fucking hell. Parting routine. Visit that woman's house to acquire a new weapon. What is a party greeting? Oh! What's this?
All right, is everybody here?
Present and accounted for.
You betcha!
Sure. All right then. Dear players, the game is over, and we have a special message for you. Thank you for playing.
For fuck's sake.
Yona, why aren't you in bed?
Oh, hey! It's my big brother. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to miss this.
Try and take it easy on her, okay? Yeah, you wouldn't turn down a request from your adorable little sister, would ya?
Popola, Devila, you're here too?
Looks like you're having yourself a grand old time, sunshine!
Okay, who was that?
Shut up, Tyrion. You'll just make things complicated.
We haven't all the time in the world, Let us finish what we came here to do.
So, it's really gonna be over, huh? Does that make anyone else feel sad?
We have to say goodbye eventually. But hey, I'm sure we'll meet again.
You really think so?
I'm getting hungry over here. Want to hurry this up?
All right, once again, from the top.
Dear players, the game is over, and we have a special message for you. Ready? 1, 2... Thank you for playing!
Fuck off. Why? You kill my emotions. Oh hell no. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna check if the weapon is there. Oh shit. One second, jump on.
Oh there.
Yeah, just pushed me. Okay, let's watch this.
You can save Yona, Vice.
It's you, isn't it?
No! Stay back! Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Is this beast a shade as well?
No! You've got to stop this!
Tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord.
I don't want to hurt my friends.
Kill him, you glorious bastard!
I have a reason to live!
get on my laptop voice. Okay, now I can hear this. Let's see this. I hope it's not copyrighted. I think something is missing. No, never mind.
Number of events that take place in this time frame, and if you think so, hey, you'd be right. Unlike NIER, 2010 NIER, not 2021's NIER Replicant, NIER Automata does a bit better of a job of including some of the contextual side materials in the game itself. How are you meant to know what happens in NIER before the start of the game? Well, you better cough up 4,000 yen for that drama CD. Now you see, NIER Automata makes a good attempt to include some of the relevant details in the game itself. That being said, that's basically what it is, an attempt. You see, NIER Replicant's side material acquisition method is pretty straightforward. Grimoire NIER will contain the majority of the information, and if you want the maximum amount of detail, yeah, the drama CD might not be a bad purchase. Someone can ask, hey, I want to read the side content for myself, and you can easily point them in the right direction. Now, for NIER Automata...
Were it so easy.
It really feels like Yoko Taro walked into a bookstore and fired off a shotgun blast, putting side stories into whatever got caught in the crossfire. Forget your standard paperbacks. The CD aisle took some heat, the video game strategy guide and art bookshelf took a hit, even the back room where they kept illegally recorded DVDs of Broadway productions didn't come out clean. So, once again, I've taken it upon myself to round up these things into a concise video and try and make some sense of it all. Obligatory, this is the third video in a short series I'm doing. Go watch the other ones if you haven't seen them and you're interested, or keep an eye out on this channel if you want to keep up with it as I go. Also, obligatory disclaimer that most of this doesn't happen within the game itself, instead in books and CDs, so the gameplay clips being shown can't always be relevant. There's also going to be an endless barrage of spoilers for both NIER Replicant and Automata from this point, so if you haven't played them and you don't want to be spoiled, be warned. Alright, let's kick this thing off. So, at the end of NIER Replicant, NIER kills the Shadow Lord, effectively dooming humanity, i.e. the Gestalts, to an inevitable fate of slowly relapsing one by one. Based off some comments I got on my other videos, I'm gonna do a quick explanation as to why this is. Basically, since NIER destroyed Grimoire Noir, there's no way for Project Gestalt to finish. Noir was instrumental, as him fusing with Weiss would fast snap the Gestalts back into their former bodies.
Goddamn. Fuck.
Obviously, no Noir means this plan is a no-go. Second, with the defeat of the Shadow Lord, who was the original Gestalt supplying his Shadow Lord juice preventing the other Gestalts from relapsing, the Gestalts, started relapsing, at a far quicker pace than they were before. Yeah, replicants could age, die, and be recreated by their respective Devla and Popola units, but this process becomes impossible once their Gestalt relapses, as their Gestalt's data is essential for creating the replicant. That, and when the Gestalt relapses, the replicant gets afflicted with the Black Scroll. Replicants are biological in nature, but the one thing they can't do is reproduce. Not that they could do that as a long-term solution anyways, since they'd all be afflicted with the Black Scroll eventually. Someone asked me, well that's great, but say Project Gestalt had gone off without a hitch. What do they plan to do about the whole not being able to reproduce thing after that? Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. I have no idea. My best guess is that they just plan to keep recreating themselves after that, but that's just a guess. So yeah, things were looking pretty grim for humanity. Noticing this downward trend in the, existence of intelligent life in the universe as we know it, a bunch of androids took it upon themselves to create the Human Heritage Investigation Committee in the year 3627. This organization was created to investigate what little information they could about humanity, mostly by searching through old ruins. I hope you didn't commit valuable brain synapses to remembering that name, because it would quickly be changed to the equally verbose Human Heritage Reclamation Management Organization in 3631. Its goals changed from studying the ancient ruins of human settlements to actively preserving and restoring human culture, such as buildings. This would continue on for the next few hundred years. Then, in 4198, it finally happens. The curtain comes to a close. The wheels that Replicant NIER set into motion about 800 years prior have finally run their course. The last Gestalt goes extinct. No Gestalts means no replicants. No replicants means no humanity. The last human that has lived and ever will live has drawn their last breath. There are no humans on the moon, no humans hiding in a cave, that's it. They're gone. With that, android factories began shutting down one by one, and their populations began shrinking as well. Let's set a quick stage here. Androids were made by humans, for humans. If humans no longer exist, in the grand scheme of things, what purpose does an android that was created to serve humanity have? Their reason to exist went up in smoke, so logically, in their pre-programmed for a specific purpose minds, what was the point in continuing to build androids? When your reason to exist is gone, you have to adapt. You have to think of a new one, and oh boy isn't that extremely relevant to the whole game, damn. So, about 300 years later, in the 4510s, a group of androids found their reasons. They decided to exist for themselves, calling themselves independentists, and declaring no loyalty to humanity. Friction begins building between the pro and anti-humanity android groups, which seems kinda strange considering humanity's about as real as Polybius machines at this point. But let's put it this way. If your entire brain was devoted to serving humanity, you wouldn't stop even after they're gone. Even if the most you could do to serve them at this point is to silence the dudes talking shit. A small-scale civil war would break out between the two android factions, but it would be short-lived. Things settled down in about 2 weeks, and the independentists would establish their own android nation in Australia. With that out of the way, things would remain pretty calm for the next 500 years, till about the year 5012, with the androids that still supported humanity on a slow decline. Then, on July 4th, a bunch of alien ships suddenly appeared from outer space, parking their ships over major cities and declaring war on the— Oh, wait a minute, sorry, this isn't my script, it's the Wikipedia article for the 1996 film Independence Day. Huh, got a little distracted there. Anyways, where were we? Oh, right, yeah, I got it, okay. Then, on July 4th, a bunch of alien ships suddenly appeared from outer space, parking their ships over major cities and declaring war on the androids. Remember when I said the androids were looking for a reason to exist? Well, ding ding, guess what just flew in from outer space? Android production started ramping up significantly, and the pro-human factions organized to create the Army of Humanity. The whole alien invasion thing really did take the androids by surprise, however, so initially they lost a lot of ground. The Kingdom of the Night was completely lost to the alien forces, and they began to create factories of their own to produce their machine life-form army. I should, probably explain the Kingdom of the Night, huh? So, what is the Kingdom of the Night, you might ask? Well, prior to the start of NIER Replicant, the Earth became tidally locked because the moon went and broke or something, stopping the day-night cycle. Let's not get into the actual science of how, like, absolutely cataclysmic that would be, and instead focus on what that means for the game. Basically, the areas of North and South America are in constant nighttime, while everywhere else is in constant daytime. This would influence, for example, where android bases would be placed, like the bunker, which rotates along with the Earth to communicate with the androids that are operating in the daylight areas. This is also the in-game excuse as to why it's constantly daytime in both NIER Replicant and NIER Automata. How far each kingdom stretches is mostly unknown, with only North and South America being specifically designated as being in total darkness. Since France and Europe can be assumed to be in the Kingdom of the Day due to the androids having operations there later on, this would put Japan maybe on the fringes, explaining why it's kinda dark in the amusement park. Or at least, that's the explanation I'm going with. Oh, the game takes place in Japan, by the way. Automata and Replicant. Tokyo in particular. Just thought you should know that, in case you didn't. What with the aliens pulling off the equivalent of a Warhammer 2 Skaven active ambush on the androids, they decided to prepare for the worst case scenario. You know, total annihilation. The Human Heritage Reclamation Management Organization, hope you remembered them, built a storage facility on the moon to house all the human data they had accumulated over the years, just in case. Damn, I wonder if that's gonna lead to a lie that'll spiral out of control and influence the majority of the events of the game. Nah. It was around this time that they also started building space stations as home bases. Now thing is, I gotta come clean. I lied to you. I said every human died out about 1,000 years ago. That's like 99% true, but it's not technically the case. There's one human caught up in all this, putting in heavy work defending his home planet from alien invaders. You know who I'm getting at, it's Emil. Last we saw him was Ending E of NIER Replicant, where he was likely living a relatively peaceful life with his homies. It's around now where he would clone himself an endless number of times to fight off the aliens. This would cause him to lose his memories and end up in the state we meet him in during Automata. Hey, by the way, remember when I said this a few videos ago? In October of 2011, the lab that was studying Angelus's body was broken into, and someone stole the dragon. Thing is, no one knows who did it. I wonder if that'll be important. Yeah, turns out it does get brought up again, but it's super brief. Before the dragon was stolen, it was moved to an unknown facility outside of Japan. We can reasonably assume that this location was in North America, particularly the United States. We can make this assumption because in 6230, the Army of Humanity deployed a new weapon they called the Dragon in the Country of the Night to fight the alien army, which at this point was made up mostly of machine life forms. Not much more is known about the dragon, the weapon, how they found it, or how it was deployed, but it can be reasonably concluded that the androids discovered it while the Human Heritage Reclamation Management Organization was investigating the remnants of humanity, and they turned it into a weapon to help in the war. Okay, so the next thing that happens in our timeline is something I just assumed was a quirky, low to mid-importance short story the first time I read it. And I held that assumption up until doubling down on research to make this video. But trust me, we in for some shit. I am now convinced that this story was probably one of the most significant events in the entire war. You might recall, if you watched some of my other videos, that I spoke about a story called The Flame of Prometheus in my second NIER Iceberg video. In Greek mythology, Prometheus was the Titan god of fire, well known for defying the Olympian gods and giving humanity the gift of fire. You might be wondering why I'm talking about Hades lore in this video. Well, if you know where this NIER short story goes, you're probably making the same face I was when I put 2 and 2 together, and I'm with you, but hold on a sec. Let's just catch everyone up to speed first. In the Greek lore, Prometheus giving fire to humanity enabled their advancement, bestowing them intelligence and allowing the progress of civilization. Keep that in mind while we switch back to NIER. The Flame of Prometheus short story starts off with BP, aka P33, aka the robot boss you bodied in NIER Replicant. After you stomp his lil homie Khalil and render him effectively inoperable, he spends the next few thousand years regaining his strength. He begins fusing with all the other robots lying around the junk heap, not only absorbing their parts to repair himself, but adding their intelligence to his own. If you'll remember, Khalil's dream was to escape the junk heap with BP and see the sky. And while BP has absorbed so many minds within his own at this point that he doesn't remember the concrete details, he still has a single-minded drive to fulfill the promise he made. In the year 7645, his preparations are finally complete, and he blasts off towards space in his new form. When he leaves the atmosphere, you know what he sees? A war being waged between the androids and the machine lifeforms, with him being right in the middle of it. Smack dab in the danger zone, BP was afraid of being destroyed. It was then he questioned why the machine lifeforms fought. He concluded that it's because they'd been ordered to. Without consciousness, they couldn't feel fear, so they didn't have any thoughts of self-preservation. BP did the only thing he could. He gave them consciousness. Prometheus gave fire to the humans. With their newfound ability to think and feel, you know what they did? They stopped fighting. You know what they did after that? They turned against the ones that ordered them to fight. That's why the aliens are long gone before NIER Automata begins. That's why the machines turned on their masters. They decided to live, a goal that was diametrically opposed with what the aliens wanted, for them to fight and conquer the Earth. And they went and did it. Their creators refused to acknowledge their desire to live, so they fought for their right to do so, eventually eliminating the aliens. Whether they wiped out the alien race completely, or only the ones currently stationed near Earth, is up for debate, but the main takeaway is that by this point, the aliens are completely out of the picture. These events would lead to the longest period of nothing in the NIER timeline. By this point, about 80% of the Earth had been conquered by the machine lifeforms, but after this, their activities stopped almost completely. The army of humanity would attempt to reclaim territory over the years, to which the machines would fight back in self-defense, but their campaigns always ended in failure. This period of relative nothing would continue on for about 4,000 years, until the year 11502. 11502? 11,502? How do you say a 5-digit year anyways? Just goes to show what a small amount of fiction actually takes place this far in the future. That aside, a weird floating city the machine lifeforms built suddenly shows up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which the androids codename, wait for it, Atlantis. It only sticks around for about 2 years before disappearing again, but 120 years later, something else shows up from under the sea. A behemoth-class android, something we fight in the game as Grunge, shows up and absolutely team-wipes every android within a 10-kilometer radius. The machines were on the attack again, and the question on everyone's minds is, why? Well, we don't have a concrete answer for this, but it's likely after thousands of years of enduring android attacks, they began to see them as a threat to their survival, same as the aliens were, and they acted in self-defense. The androids just couldn't help stirring up shit, but it's not entirely their fault. How were they supposed to know about the internal affairs of the other faction? It's kinda ironic, isn't it? Neither side is actually the enemy of the other. Both sides are just following out the orders of creators that are long gone. The aliens ordered the machines in their initial assault, and not knowing the circumstances, the androids attempted to fulfill the wills of their creators, the humans, to protect what was left of them and the Earth. One thing that stuck out to me during a recent replay of Automata was how a lot of machines in the early game basically begged you not to kill them, and 9S was just like, haha, sure is funny how they put those random words together in a sentence like that. The machines were slowly starting to learn from humanity, which included stuff like the desire for self-preservation. And you know what's probably not a good idea when you're going for the whole self-preservation thing? Oh yeah, that massive robot in the ocean we can't control that keeps curb-stomping machines and androids. Grun would continue to wreak havoc for about a month when the machines would try to seal him in the ocean near the Izu Ogasawara Trench. That's here, by the way, south of the Izu Peninsula and near the Ogasawara Islands in Japan. Fun fact of the day, the Ogasawara Islands are technically considered to be part of Tokyo. Sealing him away would work until he showed up during the events of the game, but for now, he's out of the picture. Over the next few years, there would be a few minor happenings going on. Things like the Forest Kingdom being founded by a lone Goliath-type machine named Ernst, the formation of the Resistance, including the introduction of Anemone, a character we get to know well in the game, and, I mean, of course, the most minor event, the foundation of Yorha. Hang on a second. So, Yorha kinda seems like it's been around forever, but that's not quite the case. The groundwork for Yorha was laid around 11,815, but it wouldn't be until 11,932 that anything with the name Yorha would begin operation. For those of you keeping track at home, that's only 13 years before the main game begins. Now, the foundation of Yorha is a long story with a bit of speculation included, and while I could get into it now, I think similarly with my Everything Before NIER Replicant and Project Gestalt videos, I wanted to have its own space to breathe. So, I'll be dedicating a separate video to it. For now, all you gotta know is Yorha was founded, and they immediately went aggro on the machines, perpetuating the lie that humanity is all safe and sound chilling on the moon. In 11,939, the 14th Machine War breaks out. You might be thinking, hang on, what happened to 1 to 13? And you're probably not alone in that thought. In the timeline, only 3 machine wars are ever specifically mentioned in any official capacity. The 1st, the 8th, and the 14th. The first is obvious. It's that thing I explained to you about, 10 minutes ago or something. The 8th was the one where Anemone originally made her debut, also known as the 8th Descent Operation. In this war, pretty much the only notable thing that happens is the formation of the android guerrilla army, the Resistance. Yeah, trust me, I know what you're thinking. I hear the words guerrilla army, and I know exactly where my brain goes with it. The 14th and final Machine War is the one that spills over into the events of the main game. For this war, it's probably best to dust off your old history textbook and flip to the chapter covering World War II, cause that's pretty much exactly what Yoko Taro did when he was writing it. Basically, from this point on, the last 2 digits of the year, as well as the date, will line up with major events from the years 1939 to 1945. And I'll take whatever excuse I can to not have to say any more 5-digit years for the rest of this video. Speaking of Anemone, Anemone, when she first meets 2B, she calls her number 2. Side note, we're like 20 minutes into a NIER Automata video, and I'm just now mentioning 2B for the first time. If that ain't a record, I don't know what is. So, yeah, number 2, while being coincidentally accurate to 2B's name, isn't quite correct. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out in retrospect that Anemone probably mistook 2B for A2. So, how do Anemone and A2 know each other anyways? Well, for the answer to that question, please flip to the events of December 8th, 1945 in your history books. That's right, Pearl Harbor. Did I also mention that all this takes place in the contents of a stage play? Oh yeah, we're going there. On December 8th, Yorha launched the Pearl Harbor Descent mission, spearheaded by A2 and a group of 15 other experimental androids. These androids were experimental because their personality types were based on data gathered from humans, specifically memory data. A2 in particular had memories based on a human that had a lone wolf personality type and a strong connection to their grandmother. My legal team has insisted that I point out while A2 has many connections to Kaine, the link has never been specifically confirmed, so it's technically speculation. So if you keep up with NIER lore, you probably know that the best laid plans in the NIER universe tend to go pretty poorly. I'll give you, say, 10 seconds to guess how the Pearl Harbor Descent mission went down. Yeah, pretty fucking poorly. Like, 12 of the 16 androids getting stomped before they even touch ground kinda poorly. When the remaining 4 meet up with Anemone and the Resistance, the latter are pretty disenfranchised with these Yorha people sitting cozy in their space bunker thinking they're the hottest new face of the androids. The Resistance had been abandoned on the Earth for a long while, and they'd grown pretty resentful of command. To sum it up, A2 and the Funky Bunch are given a mission to climb a mountain and ascend an elevator, leading to a machine control room. If they can get it out in one piece, this control room had the ability to shut down every machine operating in the Pacific Theater. So, in NIER Automata, command is kinda shady. They know a lot more than they let on, and they aren't too keen on sharing with the class. Well, in the stage play, command upgrades from pretty shady to palm tree on a desert island kinda shady. Command full-on intends for this mission to fail, and for the squad to get totally wiped out, citing the whole thing as a scenario. Pretty cold, if you ask me. Now, if Command expects the androids to get wiped out, why send them in at all? Well, give it a quick think. Yeah, every Yorha android has a little nuke snugly fashioned inside their chest, a part salvaged from the machine lifeforms, the black box. If just one of them made it to the server room, they could detonate themselves and take it out in one go. Okay, not a bad plan, but here's the thing. None of these first-gen androids knew about the black box. So, upon finding out that was the real plan, and also finding out that they had a machine part stuffed inside her, A2 was probably reasonably, upset. Fortunately, her and some of the Resistance members managed to bail out and survive, but this would lead to A2 being branded as a traitor by Command and designated for termination. A2 would be hunted by other androids from this point up until the main game. This stage play would lead into the events of the Beasts of Slaughter recital drama. The content touched on here involves how A2 is being pursued by Yorha over the next few years. The first android they sent after her was 2B. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that coming. A2 managed to beat 2B and escape, leading to command to send 9S after her next, who she also sent packing. Okay, I know what you're thinking. When 2B and 9S meet A2 in the Forest Kingdom, 9S acts like he's heard of her before, but never directly met her, and 2B seems like she has no idea who A2 is at all. What's up with that? Well, since A2 destroyed 2B and 9S in their previous encounters, their memories didn't make it up back with them, meaning for them, it really is like they're meeting A2 for the first time. Remember that synchronizing memory data with the bunker is something done specifically by scanner-type units. This also takes a while. I mean, when 9B and 2S... That's a mistake, but I'm leaving that in. When they detonated their black boxes to take out the Goliath machines, remember that 9S only had enough time to send one of their memories back, and he picked 2B. It's a time-consuming, specialized process, which explains why they didn't have enough time to do it when A2 beat their shit in. So when they encounter A2 in the Forest Kingdom, she knows exactly who they are. Oh boy does she know. This gives that initial scene where they meet A2 and A2 no mercy's a baby like that one scene from the Punisher comic a little more weight in retrospect. Next up, we have our second stage play titled Yorha Boys, aka Yorha Lads. This one involves a group of male androids who were like, you know what's cool? Coup d'etats. Yeah, even saying that's cool. As you might expect, Yorha Boys is about a squad of, well, Yorha Boys. A group of units designated as M-types. I'll give you less than one guess about what the M means. So what did I mean about the whole coup d'etat thing? Well, similarly to A2 in the last stage play, some of the Yorha boys got an inkling of a clue that Command didn't really give a shit about them. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like Command does these things because of the Joker, it's because with the repeated death of the units, they can get better and better battle data, allowing them to create stronger models. The lads come up with a plan to escape to the Kingdom of the Night, a place, which you'll remember, Command has no ability to monitor. Unfortunately, this plan is opposed by their Yorha voting counterparts, and a little scuffle breaks out. Not helped by the fact one of the boys, number 2, is low-key an executioner-type model. In the end, due to the fact they have trouble working together, the male models were designated as failures. But not completely. They were salvaged and redesignated as scanner-type units, explaining why all scanners are males and also explaining why they usually work alone, as stated by 9S in the intro. Did I mention who one of the units was? That's right, Albert Einstein. I mean number 9. While there's no official beating over the back of the head that this number 9 is the proto-version of the 9S we know in the game, or at all related to the number 9 that did the Yorha thing I promise we'll get into next time, we can reasonably assume it is. Before we get to the real important stuff about 2B and 9S, let's clear up 2 miscellaneous short stories, as well as one music video, that don't have an exact place in the timeline, but likely happen shortly before the game starts. First up, we have a much too silent C. This one is about Yorha Unit 10H, a lone android stationed alone in an underwater facility with her pod. If you'll remember, the letter in Yorha Unit's names designates their model type, for example S and 9S being Scanner, and B and 2B being Battler. The H in 10H designated Healer, a type of android specializing in repairing damaged units and uploading black box data to the bunker, something 9S can do as well. The purpose of the underwater facility was to serve as a backup for most essential Yorha data, such as the data regarding humanity. See, even Yorha knows you always back up your files. Maybe. You'll see. 10H has been alone in this facility for a long time, and the isolation is starting to get to her. The facility can be maintained by the pods, but she's stationed there just in case any of them need repairs. The conflict starts when 10H's fingers begin malfunctioning. It'll be a long time before Yorha Amazon can make their next delivery to her facility, so she does some quick patch-up work to keep her going for the time being. Thing is, she notices that there's some strange code in her mind space, code that leads to coordinates inside the base. She follows these coordinates to the exit hatch when suddenly her pod flips the script and attacks her. She gains the upper hand, but it sends a signal to every other pod in the facility to take her out. She seals the door, but she's left with 2 choices. Open the valve to the exit hatch and be crushed by 10,000 tons of water pressure, or open the door and be killed by an army of pods. In the end, she goes with the hatch, opening the door and bracing herself for the deluge of water that's about to rush in. Except it never comes. There's no water at all, just endless white sand in every direction. She looks up and sees the Earth. She's on the moon. It's then she realizes the truth. She's not maintaining backup data from the humans on the moon. There are no humans on the moon. It's just her. Everything in her facility is all that's left of humanity. Crushed by the revelation and accepting defeat, she takes solace in the fact she won't remember any of this when she's reconstructed, and surrenders to the pods. Before she's taken out, she leaves a clue in the blank space of her mind. Coordinates for her next incarnation to find. The next is a short story called Small Flowers. The story centers around a machine that calls himself I, who finds some flower seeds in some ruins. Being the absolute genius he is, him and the machine network conclude that these flowers must be the ultimate anti-android weapon, so I is tasked with growing them. Dude legit just sat there and watched a flower grow for months on end, reading the Harvest Moon Player's Guide or something to get the information on how to properly care for it. After being caught up in a battle with the androids near the flower, I was busted up pretty bad, and so was the flower. Side note, holy shit does Yoko Taro like flower symbolism in his games. Add another one to the bingo sheet, boys! I was initially pretty put off by the whole thing, but after watching the flower regrow its lost parts, he doubled down on caring for it, initiating his own self-repair process. Thing is, you know what happens every year without fail? For approximately 1/4 of the year? Yeah, winter. I'm not a botanist, but last I checked, I don't think flowers like the winter. The flower was starting to wither, and I could never get his hands on the android destruction codes if the flower were to die. At first, he tried aiming a heater at it, but the flower was clearly on its way out. He did the last thing he could, covering the plant with his body to wait out the winter. For a completely backwards, senseless reason, I gave everything he could to protect this flower, stating that he had infinite time to do so. Yeah, we can all look at this and be like, damn, them machines sure are stupid, but the machines were still learning from zero. Things not related to battle were relatively new on the discovery scale for them at this point, so cut them a little slack. I mean, the way the machines that disconnected from the network overcame the concept of death in their newfound discovery of it was to believe that when a machine stopped functioning, it became a god. So, not the craziest thing I've heard in the last 10 minutes. As for what happens in the music video, I'll let my past self do a quick explanation for the next minute or two. So, take it away, me? The DLC comes with this short story called Play-Doh 1728. It's about a robot named, Play-Doh 1728. A pacifist robot with an anime figure collection. One day, a battle comes to the home front and his androids go up in smoke like a fire in the Ami warehouse. This leads him to making a super rational judgment call where he goes berserk and kills his enemies and his allies. Parroting anti-video game news outlets in the early 2000s, the machines decided that dolls were the cause of the violence and proceeded to dispose of them. This is all told as a backdrop to a music video of a song called Deserving a Life by Japanese rock band Amazarashi, making it one of the more logical mediums near plot details are conveyed to the player. Just before I get into the 2B9S stuff, I'm legally obligated to mention the last piece in the timeline that happens before the game starts. On February 10th, 11/9/45, an intrusion is discovered in the bunker's servers, but the records of this discovery are quickly erased. Could be related to the backdoor place in the bunker's servers that allowed the machines to get in. But if it is related to anything specifically, I gotta admit I'm drawing a blank right now. Coincidentally, February 10th is also the date that the walls of Jericho surrounding Shinjuku fell in the year 2010. Firewall, concrete wall, it's all the same thing if you think about it. If you've played NIER Automata, which, I mean, at this point, you probably have, I think. If you haven't, how has this whole video been so far? Are you lost? I mean, don't leave, you'll miss out on the good stuff. Anyways, you'll know that 2B and 9S have a very special relationship. And by special, I mean 2B kills 9S on a pretty frequent basis. Yeah man, been there. Being inherently curious, he can't stop himself from accessing secret Yorha files.zip and browsing through the command's forbidden stash. If that stuff got out, it'd be the end of Yorha, and possibly all the androids. So when this happens, 2B, aka 2E, has to take him out. Why do they keep remaking him if he's this much trouble? That's a real good question. How many times has 2B killed 9S before the start of the game? Well, let's think about that for a sec. We know 9S was first activated about 3 years before the start of NIER Automata. Judging by the NIER Automata collab quest from NIER Reincarnation, which we'll get into in a sec, it seems that 9S has been killed by 2B at least a dozen times, if not more. I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I'm throwing down that 9S gets team killed by 2B on a bi-monthly basis. That's once every 2 months, not twice a month by the way. 3 of these instances take place during the side stories Memory Cage, Memory Thorn, and the before-mentioned Reincarnation collab quest. Let's tackle these in chronological order, starting with Memory Cage. Something I didn't notice before now is that Memory Cage and Memory Thorn's first quarter is an almost identical set of events, which really threw me through a loop when I brushed up on them for this video, I'll tell you that much. For that reason, I think it's best to consider Cage and Thorn as multiple outcomes for the same events, hammering in the cyclical nature of 2B and 9S's turbulent relationship. In Memory Cage, 2B and 9S are investigating a set of ruins in the desert, widely speculated to be the desert temple NIER facade from NIER Replicant. 9S dashes into a room, and 2B uses the opportunity to take him by surprise and stealth kill him before he can see it coming. Despite 9S's memory being wiped every time he's remade, in this instance, he foresaw the attack coming and set up a trap for 2B. The most commonly accepted idea is that something has started to remain in his memory after being done in by 2B so many times. He can't clearly recall who she really is or what she does, but he has a feeling, almost like an instinct, about what goes down. The best evidence for this is how 9S's story plays out in the tower at the end of the game, when A2 tells him that 2B is 2E, and he kinda seems like he already knows. While 2B does get the upper hand on him in combat, he hacks into her and actually manages to turn the tide. Thing is, scanner models? Hacking something? Damn, never thought of that possibility. Foreseeing this outcome, the commander outfitted 2B with a logic virus, designed to counterattack 9S in the event he managed to hack into her. Just as quickly as he'd gained the advantage, he had lost it. He was booted out of 2B's mind and quickly dealt with. Memory Thorn starts off almost identically to Memory Cage, with 2B and 9S investigating the desert ruins. It diverges within the temple. Instead of 9S dashing into a room by himself, the pair are ambushed by a gang of machines, despite it specifically being stated that the chances of running into machine lifeforms was 0. In the ambush, the machines manage to infect 2B with a logic virus, prompting 9S to hack into her to try to remove it before she could say, haha, maybe that ain't a good idea. Why? No reason. Once inside 2B, you can pretty much guess what 9S saw. A video of the commander telling 2B to ice his ass the second she gets a chance. 9S jumped out of 2B, and she confirmed with him what he saw. Thing is, big twist, this time around, 2B refused to kill 9S, instead asking him to kill her, to spare her from having to repeat the cycle. Knowing that him and 2B could only continue to meet again if he was destroyed, he turns 2B's sword on himself to save her from having to make the choice. If 2B's taken out, she'll be deemed a failure and she won't be remade. If 9S is taken out, well, I mean, that's just a Tuesday. Last up is the Reincarnation collab quest, which follows a similar structure to Thorn, except instead of a temple, it's a cave. Same events, but when 2B's infected with a logic virus, 9S jumps into her mind, only to see a bunch of memories of him winning a free sword in his chest in multiple different scenarios. Thing is, this time when he jumps out, I guess he figures he'd probably be better off filing that shit in a list of things I should pretend I didn't see, as he doesn't bring it up with her, making the ending play out differently from last time. The question on my mind is, 2B obviously knows what he saw up in there, so is she also staying silent about it? There's no official mention of when this particular event takes place on the timeline, so let's say for argument's sake, it happens after Memory Thorn. 2B is obviously pretty fed up with having to take out 9S on a regular basis, so maybe, by pretending she doesn't know what he saw, they can just sweep the whole incident under the rug. What command don't know don't hurt him, right? Anyways, that's about it, I guess. A summary of every major event that happened in between the credits rolling in NIER Replicant to the intro playing out in NIER Automata. No Johns.
Please, no Johns.
But this is easily the longest script I've ever written, which explains why it took me a while to get it out. As of recording this voice line, I don't know how long the video is gonna be when I've edited and put the whole thing together, but thanks for watching all the way through. If you're, hearing this right now, I mean. If you skip straight to this point and are listening to this, I mean, I can't say I understand your video watching methods, but I respect them. Like I said, Your House Foundation is going to get its own video, so keep an eye out for that. I hope it'll be out relatively soon. Next video to come out is going to be non-NIER related, and I beseech thee, viewer, to give that a peep when it drops. Anyways, offer from the NIER Iceberg video still stands. 1 million likes, and I'll release my karaoke cover of Way to the World. So do with that information.
Wait, I need to go to toilet. 1 second. I am back. Ooh. I don't know if I want to watch this many. See what
Kept you waiting, huh?
Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay, first, let's unpack what we're talking about here. We're talking about the new ending added to the NIER Replicant Remaster Remake. I'd say there were two big significant chunks added to the game with this version up. This, and Episode Mermaid. I've already made a video on that one, by the way, so if you're interested in breaking Episode Mermaid down, you should go check it out. Of the two, I don't think it's controversial at all to say that this is the far more significant piece of content, however. This is a completely new ending. I mean, depending on what your definition of new is. But that's some nuance that we'll get into later. Also, we had a pretty definite link between NIER Replicant and NIER Automata beforehand, but the stuff in here just seals the deal. You'll see what I mean. By the way, you might have guessed this, but being a close look at the definitive ending of the game, this video is going to have a lot of spoilers. Just a word of warning if you were planning to experience it for yourself. Anyways, now that we got that paperwork out of the way, let's get into it. So first it might be prudent to mention where exactly this new content slots itself into the game. Being the new definitive ending, you might have guessed it shows up right at the end, in which case you'd be right. You most likely know how this goes. At the end of Route D, you fight Kaine and put her down. After that, you're given a choice. You can either kill Kaine, or sacrifice your existence so she can be free of Tyrant's possession, and live out a normal life in a world you slowly condemn to extinction and ruin. Good job on that one, by the way. You know what goes down after this point. Your save file vanishes into the wind, and you watch it slowly delete itself in front of your eyes, like when you had to free up blocks on your GameCube memory card for them big boys back in the day. You get booted back to the title screen, which now has a flower on it as a reward. A heavy price to pay, but hey, you did it for a good cause, right? This is where the original game ends. Maybe it's even where your Replicant version 1.22 playthrough ends, if you didn't know to keep going. I mean, imagine a world where you didn't have the internet, and you didn't have instant confirmation by checking online that there was in fact an ending E. Well, I guess one of the things you could do is check out the trophies. Not on PSN, of course, it'd just be hidden, but scrolling down the list, something, kinda sticks out. Yeah. That picture with the E is kinda blatantly obvious, but what's with the trophy name? Seriously, did you just hammer fist the keyboard 3 or 4 times and then call it a day? I don't know if the trophy name and description both starting with the letter E is a cool coincidence or if it's intentional. Well, dear viewer, watch this. Let's translate the trophy name from hexadecimal to UTF-8. Don't worry if you didn't understand what I just said. I don't even understand what I just said, but roll with it. What comes out is Kyoku Saba, which means memory server. Okay, what about the trophy description? Hikari ga mieru, which is like, I can see a light. These might seem like some cool buzzwords, but keep them in mind for later. Anyways, back to unlocking this ending. Once you Thanos snapped your own save file, you gotta hit new game and start playing again. You gotta get up to about when you fight Hook in the area with Kaine. You know how this goes. You stomp the boss out, Kaine's laying on the floor on the other side of the area. You make your way over to her, expecting to see the greatest cutscene in the history of video games.
Yes. You and I are friends now.
When suddenly...
Come on.
It just happens. We're in uncharted territory now. Kaine wakes up in bed 3 years later, thinking about the people she's lost, like Emil, and even has some of his mementos littered about. She's clearly pretty frustrated that there's someone she should be remembering, but she just can't, no matter how hard she tries. Also, this is me from the future coming here live while editing this video. Judging by this loading screen letter, it seems that waking up crying isn't a phenomenon exclusive to Kaine. Yona seems to be experiencing it too, and she even wants to reach out to Kaine because of it. Just something I noticed while watching the footage over again. Anyways, Kaine gets out of bed and... Hold up. This is a NIER Replicant first. We got a whole new character to play as here. With all new attacks and combos, even the buttons assigned to Magic as NIER have all new special attacks associated with them. And check out this Devil May Cry 5 Virgil summons swords teleports behind you nothing personnel kid shit. This is pretty hype. They put some work into this. We get to learn about the world without NIER in it, based on some ambient dialogue Kaine has as she's traveling. She notices the contradictions in her memory, things that couldn't be the case unless a mysterious someone else was there as well. Kaine sets off to your home village, which is now called Yona's village instead of NIER's village, which really cements his absence home. On the road, you meet someone who's gonna go run an errand to the Forest of Myth, who you save from getting squad roasted by a bunch of shades. Remember, since NIER killed the Shadow Lord, things are getting progressively worse and worse. In a seemingly throwaway line of dialogue NIER has at the beginning of the game, he says that populations are decreasing, shades are getting more violent, and people say it's the end of the world. The Black Scrawl is the ultimate fate of all replicants, as their Gestalts no longer have a way to remerge with their bodies after the Shadow Lord was killed and Grimoire Noir destroyed. 1,000 or so years past the prologue, we can see that the Black Scrawl is still a relatively rare occurrence. We only know 2 characters that get it, Yona and the Old King of Facade. We also know that about 800 years after NIER killed the Shadow Lord, humanity came to a complete and total end, so it can be reasonably speculated that shit really slammed on—
Well, I'll mute this. Gestalt NIER obtains the original agreement now to return Yona. The Poland reset Gestalt.
on the gas pedal after that. This is also brought up when Kaine talks to this postman. Anyways, he passes his errand on to us, and we forget all about our little trip to the village. By the way, you can go, but when you do, Kaine just mentions how she'd just freak everyone out. Obviously, this is a carryover from the main game when Popola asked Kaine and Emil to get out and stay out. But really, Kaine's a decorative centerpiece in the library for 5 full years, and an additional 3 years have passed since that. You're telling me the villagers still ain't chill? I could understand Skullface over there, but Kaine doesn't even look different from a regular human, and she isn't even possessed by a shade anymore. Whatever. Heading to the Forest of Myth, all the villagers have been killed, and there are these machines pouring out of the Divine Tree. These are new enemies too, so you know you're about to be in for something good. Even though they kinda look like and behave like the robots from the Junk Heap. And oh god, I just want a memory alloy, please drop, I've been in here for hours. With the enemies defeated, the door into the tree opens, and Kaine makes her way inside. It's at this point in the video where I gotta slam on the brakes real quick, cause there's something important we gotta talk about. If you watch my NIER Iceberg video, you might know where this is going. We gotta read. Since the year 2010, Jurassic Park The Lost World has been completely evicted out of my mind to make room for the new Lost World, which is Ending E of NIER. Now you might be thinking, you just said 2010, and NIER Replicant version 1.22 came out in 2021. Right, yeah, well what if I told you that Ending E was actually originally released in a book called Grimoire NIER? Yeah, well, it's true. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I think there's a great opportunity to do some comparison work here. If you've played Ending E, which, I mean, you probably did if you're watching this video, but I mean if you haven't, don't click away or anything, because we're about to break some ground here, then you know there's things in NIER Replicant's Ending E that couldn't have possibly have been in Grimoire NIER's version. So easy, let's compare the two. Only one issue. The translation is incomplete, to say the least. The document available to read on the NIER Wiki is, quote, a rough translation taken from Chinese forums and blogs, and it's a bit light. More of a summary. Look, here's the thing, I don't just want to spend half of this video parroting back the events of a plotline you've already experienced. I'm trying to add stuff, break it down, you know, analyze it. And this summary just ain't enough for that. So...
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Now that I've read the original novella in Japanese in its entirety, I'll be doing some comparisons where I feel the novella differs from the game as we go along. Sound? Sound. Alright, let's resume. So how about up to the point where we are now, with Kaine entering the Forest of Myth? Well, interestingly, the novel starts off in media res, with Kaine waking up in sweats near the Eyrie being a 2 days earlier flashback. Kaine also does a bit more questioning in the novella as to what happened to Tyran, as in her perspective he just kinda disappeared. As well, Kaine thinks over what Devila and Popola told her about Project Gestalt, whether she believes it, and whether she did the right thing in killing the Shadow Lord. Remember, by the way, since NIER disappeared from existence, that's something she thinks she did, so the supposed guilt from possibly ending the human race kinda falls on her shoulders. It clearly troubles her, but she decides she doesn't care. Not in an edgy sort of way. More of like a, I'm not too thrilled about this whole being alive thing anyways sort of way. Other than that, we're pretty spot on as far as differences between the novel and the game go, so let's continue. Kaine rolls up into the Deku tree, and she immediately starts hearing a pair of voices who know everything about who she is and what she's done. In the novella, this is only a single voice, but there's a very good reason as to why that's become two, and we'll get to that in a second. After walking a bit further into the tree, Kaine comes face to face with the two figures, known as the Administrators, taking the shapes of a young boy and girl. So, you might have noticed who these voices are. They're 2B and 9S's. I wouldn't blame you for not noticing. 2B's VA, Yui Ishikawa, is doing a pretty good job of putting on a different voice.
違う。単なる防衛装置みたい。じゃあ、目標を探す必要がありますね。
君は元気だね。これでは会話にならない。では、戦おう。
Also, you know, asterisk, I played this segment in Japanese, so I don't know how different Kira Buckland's 2B voice is to the voice she's putting on here. That's something you're gonna have to judge for yourself. I'm gonna say, though, that the patterns on their clothes are probably meant to invoke the ones on your high androids. Now, I'm not saying that these are specifically 2B and 9S, but we know the androids and their personality archetypes go way further back than we're led to believe, so could be something here. But I'm gonna leave speculation about that to a potential future video. We're looking for them concrete facts right now. Now, obviously there can't have been two administrators in the novella, because there wasn't any NIER Automata to make reference to in 2010. Simple enough. Next, Kaine cuts up a P-33 model robot while they exposit information about Project Gestalt and the nature of replicants on her. And it's time for an
information mentioned in the novella that doesn't get brought up in the game.
Lightning round. Ready? Let's go. The Junkkeep robots were originally created to dispose of replicants if Project Gestalt were to fail. When Kaine picks up her sword, she has 3 rules. If it's a shade, kill it. If a human puts you in danger, kill it. If you don't like it, kill it. The Administrator was tasked with controlling and using the remaining Maso in the world. No longer having a purpose, the Administrator's current objective is ending the world. And finally, the novella uses Kaine's thighs as a unit of measurement. That's not a joke. After defeating the robots, Kaine follows the Administrators deeper into the tree, where they explain that this is an installation meant to record everything and anything about the world. Kinda like an organic Wikipedia. You do remember the name of the trophy is Memory Server, right? Then they summon a bunch of copies of Kaine to fight her, and they pretty much push Kaine to her limit. The novella claims that the fight thus far has lasted for over half an hour, and while it would be, you know, really damn boring to constantly fight the same enemies for 30 minutes in a game, we can infer this to mean Kaine's been at it for a really long while. All hope seems lost when a familiar face shows up.
Kaine-san, 大丈夫ですか?
Emil.
はい。
It's our boy, Emil, with some, extra appendages? You know, when I was like 10, I'd look at my Machamp Pokemon card and wonder what it would physically feel like to have 2 extra arms, but that's a tangent for another day. In the game, Kaine doesn't ask about these arms until later, but in the novella, she's pretty quick to be like, hey, what's with the freaky arms, Skeletor, man? In the game, Emil says there isn't time to worry about that, and in the novella, he just tells her that more is better than less. So, what's the real reason? The actual answer is, if you read the NIER novella Around the World in 80 Days, you know our boy didn't exactly have the easiest time reforming his body. Going into the full thing would understandably take too long. So let's just say that 1 or 2 magical mishaps later, and 2 extra arms isn't the worst mistake you can make when it comes to putting yourself back together. Emil comes in for the assist and focuses on breaking the barrier the administrator set up while Kaine continues fighting her clones. All the while, their voices taunt her, saying they're impressed with how far a replicant like her has come. And, I mean, they're not wrong. Given that Kaine's immense strength and ability to use magic was something given to her by Tyran, she does seem to be keeping pace pretty well. Again, we turn to the novella, which states that when Tyran left, Kaine lost her ability to use magic, but her ability with a sword and, quote, abnormal physical strength remained. I'm just gonna assume they're stretching this to explain why she can still literally disappear, swing her swords faster than the eye can see, and KO like 6 shades at once. It ain't my job to decide the limits of that. Like I said, it's Maso, I ain't gotta explain shit. Furthermore, she says that using magic was never really her thing, so she's not too negatively affected by its absence. Now, while NIER was strong, a lot of his power came from the fact he had Grimoire Weiss to back him up, while Kaine is currently completely sans magic. All that was a pretty roundabout way of saying there's a good chance that Kaine is the most powerful replicant to exist, which explains why the administrators are marking out over her abilities. Emil finally manages to break through the barrier, creating an opening for him and Kaine to continue forward. It's at this point we gotta take the novel, chuck it in the trash, and glory kill slam the lid on top, because NIER Replicant is about to go off the rails. They coalesce back together in the ending, but for now it's time for our video game to go off on its own. I mean, the novella couldn't have had this stuff in it. The content being referenced didn't, exist at the time. If you want to know what I mean, let's just say you'll automatically figure it out. Our duo enters a white area that kinda looks like the top of the Lost Shrine, but there's some, obvious differences. Something seems familiar, but not familiar to Replicant. We get some dialogue between Kaine and Emil as they make their way through this new environment, and it really goes to show how close these two are. Sure, Kaine probably has feelings for NIER she couldn't express earlier, because Tyran would have team killed her if she showed emotions other than hatred, and Emil definitely has a crush on our former protag, but these two have something that possibly goes deeper than that. They understand each other because of the mutual ire they draw from the people living in the villages, something they get over by mutually supporting each other. They each haven't had this support in 3 years, and now they're finally reunited. Sure, they had NIER, who unconditionally supports them as well, but by virtue of being the hero, someone who can freely enter towns, earn the trust and respect of the people, and generally doesn't face much ostracizing, he doesn't really understand them the way they do each other. One line that particularly stuck out to me from the main game is when NIER decides he wants to show solidarity with Kaine and Emil by sleeping outside with them. By the end of the conversation, Kaine rejects his idea by saying he shouldn't waste his time, which is pretty indirect, but in Japanese, she straightforwardly tells him no and says to drop it. Whether that's because she sees it as a meaningless gesture and she doesn't want to subject NIER to a needless burden, or she genuinely doesn't want to compromise the one-on-one time she has with Emil, a time where she shows a more vulnerable side of herself, noted when she tells Emil to shut up because she's got an image to maintain, is a decision for you to make. Anyways, second tangent aside, Emil seems to have the same brain fog as Kaine and Yona, as he can remember NIER kinda like how you can remember the level layout of some SNES platformer you played once as a kid. He even says that he could remember making a promise to someone that they would go eat something delicious together. You get to a replica of the Shadow Lord's castle, and Kaine then fights a boss, a memory core sitting at the end of a long room. During this fight, you might have noticed something. A boss at the end of a hallway that doesn't retaliate when you reach it, having to cross a long room dodging patterns of projectiles a total of 3 times. Yeah, you might have noticed that this fight is pretty similar to the final fight with the Shadow Lord at the end of a regular playthrough. Something to keep in mind is who we're trying to bring back right now. This core represents the world's memories, as well as Kaine's memories, something that's been sealed away. Kaine slams open the core while simultaneously inventing some new expletives, and the screen fades white. And, hold up. That loading screen do be looking kinda different though. Yo, wait a minute. That's the NIER Automata HUD. The life bar, the map. Again, I mentioned this before, but I could speculate on this all day, and the video would explode further than it already has if I got into why this is. And to be honest, I don't want to go too far into unconfirmed speculations. But let's lay down one ground theory. I'm gonna say the administrators are based on number 2 and number 9, prototype androids created by Zinnia, the founder of Yorha, who formed the baseline personalities for 2B and 9S. I mean, their voices are the exact same in both languages, which was a deliberate choice made for a reason. What we're seeing here could be the groundwork for the technology that would eventually lead to the founding of Yorha. As much as I want to keep going with this, the length of this Word document is already starting to scare me, and I'm not trying to rewrite War and Peace here. If I ever do a potential video in the future exploring the links between NIER Replicant and NIER Automata, as well as all the side content in between, I'll be sure to explore this connection further. So this area is extremely similar to NIER Automata, particularly when diving into an android. Probably best seen when A2 dives into 9S near the end of the game. It's here that Kaine has to do battle with her memories, summoned up by the administrators, taking the forms of various bosses from the game. Something that's strongly suggested during the main game is that Kaine can hear Shade's voices. Shades, other than Tyran, I mean. NIER slaughters Shades at a rate that would make Doomguy go wide-eyed, but Devil's Advocate, you could argue that he was ignorant as to what he was actually doing, if not willfully so. When Devila and Popola finally spill the tea, he's already come too far to turn back, and you could argue that because they, quote, betrayed him, he wasn't all too inclined to listen/believe what they were saying anyways. NIER makes the biggest oopsie in history and accidentally ends the human race, but he was at least completely convinced he was in the right. Yoko Taro himself stated that one of the themes in NIER Replicant is centralized on this topic. You don't necessarily have to be a bad person to do horrible things. You just have to believe that what you're doing is right. Surely, of all those who have gone through NIER Replicant, there are probably a fair amount of players who do believe NIER was in the right. And this isn't trying to dunk on people for not understanding the story or not seeing the bigger picture. You're forced to go through this game in NIER's perspective. There's bound to be a large number of people who empathize with his goal, whether they acknowledge or fully comprehend that what they're doing through him as a player is wrong or not. Seriously, I joke about how NIER closed his eyes, went, "I do not see it," and put a full stop to humanity, but it'd be hard not to empathize with a character you've shared a goal with for dozens of hours. If you're that player, fighting the bosses while the administrators taunt you over what you've done is the way the game forces Kaine, and to a greater extent, forces you to acknowledge your actions. Kaine, and by extension you through your current control of her, lose all plausible deniability. The game rubs your face in it, and at the very least, forces you to come to terms with your actions. Kaine's response, whether she chooses to own up to her actions or continues to push forward, is up to her, and similarly, the same thing is up to you. You can acknowledge what you're doing is wrong and still continue. I mean, it's the only choice you have. This ain't a choose-your-own-adventure game. It's not like you can influence the direction. Or you can assert that you're correct. Either way, by directly broaching the topic, it means you can't just sit on the fence anymore. Are you, NIER and Kaine, right or wrong? What's your reason? Everyone likely has a different opinion and reasoning on the topic, and honestly, I think that's one of the strengths of NIER Replicant's storytelling. Time to switch gears back to the story again. Once Kaine finishes curb stomping some shades, she's forced to confront her worst memory. The one shade I don't think anyone's sympathizing with. The one that killed her grandma and stole her life away. Big Lizard Boy, Hook. Kaine puts up a good fight, but she's getting her shit pushed in. Hook is a lot tougher this time around, since the administrators gave him a few enhancements. All the while during the fight, she's shouting that she can't remember that certain someone, even though it's on the tip of her mind. Hook summons up weird shadowy versions of the villagers from the area, who taunt and insult her just like they did back in the day. That's pretty harsh, man. All in all, Kaine's pretty much neck deep in her worst nightmare right now. Just like before with the clones, all hope seems lost, and Kaine's pushed to her limit when another assist comes in. Hey everybody, it's Grimoire Weiss, who didn't disappear, apparently. Or maybe lives in the data space. I don't know, and he's come here to help Kaine out. Though he can't resist throwing a little shade at her in his entrance. Grimoire Weiss's magic has this, digital style effect to it applied for this boss fight, and it's all brand new. This might be a personal opinion, but I think it looks hella cool. They didn't have to do this, but it gives a nice flair of visual personality. Kaine actually says some genuine words of thanks to Weiss for coming in to help her, but they both quickly agree that that's kinda out of character, and they're more comfortable with their usual banter. It's not that Kaine doesn't appreciate Weiss, or anything like that. Them taking the piss out of each other constantly is just their way of expressing their affinity for each other. They're completely their true selves with no fake politeness when they're together, even if Weiss constantly calls Kaine a thought as if he's got a quota. Side note, when Kaine thanks Weiss, he asks her, "Are you in your cups again?" And I have no idea what that means. Google seems to claim it's some old-fashioned British slang for being drunk, but in Japanese he asks her if she's eaten something off, so let's go with that. With Grimoire Weiss's magic, Kaine turns the tides on Hook and manages to squeeze out a W. This creates a giant burst of light that slowly dissolves the administrators. Hey, a giant burst of light. Remember what that trophy description was? As they disappear, they say that possible futures are blending together. This could suggest that by altering the records of the world and humanity, Kaine's creating a timeline where NIER exists. Kaine then makes a big emotional speech where she decides what life means to her and throws a few expletives NIER's way to bring him back.
私は決めたんだ。誰の指図も受けない。私は刃になるって決めたんだ。お前の刃になるって決めたんだ。絶対に取り戻してみせる。ふざけんな。勝手に消えてどういうつもりなんだ。自分が生きてる意味は自分が決める。この命も私が勝手に使う。だからとっとと戻ってこい。この腐れ野郎。
You then have to input the name you used for your own save file. You know, the one you deleted after ending D. This is a good way of giving the player a sense of control over the action, same way they got it when they had you input the name to delete it. But fellas, you know someone, somewhere on this wide green earth, one single person got to this point and realized they'd completely forgotten what they named their save file. And there ain't a single walkthrough or strategy guide on the planet that can help you with that. Weiss disappears again, and maybe it's for real this time. I don't know, he's done this before, you know how he is. Speaking of timelines blending together, this is when the book reconvenes with where we've ended up. Kaine calls NIER back, and a giant lunar tier flower sprouts up from the ground. Kinda reminds me of the imagery from when the tower sprouts up in NIER Automata. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Giant flower? Ah yes, Drakengard 3.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Look, here's the thing, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure this isn't the same flower as the one in Zero's Eye. Simplest reason why, the novella has this specific flower scene, and it was written in 2010, before Drakengard 3 was a twinkle in anyone's eye. Now, I'm not saying they're not thematically related. There might be some common imagery of flower equals beautiful thing equals evil going on here. It's just too suspicious that not only NIER Replicant and Drakengard 3 have giant flowers in them, even NIER Reincarnation got in on that party. The camera zooms in on the middle of the flower where Kaine's holding onto NIER. I'm gonna be real with you, full transparency. When I first read the novella back when, NIER in my brain was always associated with old pancake-faced Papa NIER, cause, I mean, you know, that was the only version of him our Square Enix overlords allowed us to play at the time. All that is to say, when this cutscene played and she was holding Twink NIER, I had a small brain turn-off moment, even though it makes a lot more sense for it to be Kid NIER in retrospect. Kaine makes another big speech, and with that, Ending E comes to a close. You did it. You're done. NIER Replicant is forever finished. You get your old save file back, so now you can suffer trying to get that trophy for harvesting a lunar tear flower or something. Great. Epic. You can go back to the title screen, and there's a new option in the menu. It's just a short thank you message from the cast, but hey, it's a nice touch.
では、改めて、プレイヤーの皆さん、このゲームをプレイしていただき、せーの。本当にありがとうございました。
Hey you. Yeah, you. Thanks for watching. This video might have been a bit long for a section of a game that takes about 2 hours total, but, I mean, there's a lot here, especially when you bring the book into it. Hope you learned something today. I sure learned a lot making it. Anyways, if this video gets 1 million likes, I'll do a karaoke cover of Ashes of Dreams. Anyways, till next time.
Do I want to know something? Project Gustav. Okay, never mind. Let me see this. Let me go back. Okay, that's it. But I'm gonna try to put something on. So give me a chance. And yeah, be right back for like